Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is 3rd of September 2025. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today. Let's quickly check the participant list. Okay, I don't see any new participants, at least in the list, but the list looks shorter than. Okay, that's weird. Okay, anyways, let's skip that and let's continue with the introduction, the reminders. Please remember that the meeting is recorded. If you would like to help the project with contributions, especially if you are new to the project, please use the good first issue and have wanted labels by the GitHub issue filter or via these links in the community meeting notes. And you can pick any of these. Feel free to do that. All of these are free to contribute. And if you are not sure about how to start, just ping whoever is created the issue or whoever was the most active on the issue. If you feel that your organization would be okay disclosing the adoption of MetaCube, then please do so by creating a pull request to the community repository within the organization and editing the adopters.md file in the root of the repo the same way as the others have done before. If you feel that your pull request is encountering test problems, test issues that you think are not related to your specific change, then please create an issue in the related repository and link that issue to the MetaCube CI Tracker project on the right-hand side of the issue UI. And related to the incubation, you probably have heard or seen the email or participated in the interview or in some way you were involved or noticed that MetaCube project has been accepted as an incubating project in CNCF, and this has been publicly announced. So thank you for everyone. I think probably it was discussed on previous community meetings. But yep, I will update the general meeting template to have this blog post or something here instead of the deadlines. Thank you all for contributing to the project and helping us to reach this goal. If you are interested about any other statistics or deliverables or project landscape or the CI status or whatever, please follow the links in the reminders list or from the main GitHub page of the organization. Okay, I think that's all about the general reminders. Was there anything last week that you would like to carry over to this week's discussion? Okay, I think this is being worked on, and then I don't see anything else from last week. Okay, then continue with the community working group updates. So I see Dimitri has updates about scalability and ARM.
Yeah, I have updates about no updates, but I'd really love to see skill testing results because I guess the update is that Ironic has now completely changed its threading model. That's the change I've been talking about for a few months, so it has been concluded. We have identified and fixed a few performance regression. We discussed them last week, for example, about timeouts and Ironic standalone operator. So things should be much better right now. But I'd be really curious to see scale testing results. If we can revive this effort, it would be really great. And that's all I have for scalability.
Okay, I will just comment this that maybe this cycle I can uh, change my keyboard. Uh, Previous cycle was quite busy, but maybe now uh, I did a debugging related to some some issues with scalability test. I have not checked if anyone since then did anything related to that. Maybe I've seen a reversed PR or some redfish test, but I'm not sure. But
Yes, yes. So I was looking into the overcap M3 scalability tests are failing because of this SSL
yeah,
spot edit for the redfish. After that, they started failing. So I reverted that PR and now I'm running some tests. So it now it passes that point of BMHs are applied, but now it's failing in because of V1 beta 2 of cluster API. There is something in cluster YAML that is not properly being set. I need to check. I am currently debugging it. So let's see. Hopefully we can get the test green soon. But I am working on it.
yeah. I think Adele, we could sing tomorrow because I checked that also. Uh, it was suspected that a rewrite would remove the problem, but as I was reading the implementation, for me it seemed to be like reasonable. So I I would like to keep that feature that was added.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
I'm not going to remove it. I
okay,
was just making sure that if it's causing the overscalability test or not.
yep.
So that feature will be there. Maybe what we can do is just for scalability, we can just turn it off. Uh,
Mhm.
but it will stay there. Yeah. And just for testing, I open that word PR and it's just a draft. I'm not going to merge that PR.
Okay, okay. Yep, that sounds good. That sounds good. It was fish SSR support. For the tests. Okay. Any other comments related to this?
Just as a heads up, our team will probably be working on adopting uh, our own standalone operator in OpenShift in the near future. So most of our effort will be directed at like customization bits that we need, missing features, bugs, and stuff like this. So we'll probably pick up the scalability topic after that. Don't expect much on this front from us in the coming month, but do expect us to put our own external operator to some real life testing.
That sounds good. Thanks. Thanks. Um, okay, I will add this here just to not forget it in the general discussion topics.
I also want to ask maybe Dimitri, should we start using this IRSU in our CAPM3 E2E test? And right now we just use customize and apply this. We are not using IRSU. Should we start using it or is it ready for
As far as I'm concerned, it's absolutely ready to be used. had this on my radar. I realized I just don't have cycles to work on that, unfortunately. I did some preliminary work in CAPM3 just to make things more or less, compatible, but yeah, I never got to that. If you could help, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Because
maybe
yeah,
for some test I can enable it and see how it works out. I can work on it. Maybe few tests I can enable it. So
yeah, I hope that we eventually get rid of other ways to install Ironic, to be honest, like customize and stuff. Maybe some people would disagree, but I personally would love to see them gone.
okay, yeah, let's see.
Yeah, +1 for that.
Okay, I will create an issue for it in
I
CapM3.
think we should aim for making this keep the deployment as the default in Metal3.
Okay, I can make an issue and start working on it after fixing scalability. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just writing the notes. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe a follow-up to Dimitri. So when you say it will be integrated to OpenShift, are you making it part of the OpenShift MetalCube CI using Deven or no?
No, what I mean is we have a downstream operator that installs all MetalCube components. It's called cluster bare metal operator, if you're curious. You can find it on GitHub, it's open source. Ironic standalone operator was essentially extracted out of it to a significant degree to bring this functionality upstream. So now we need to do the other half of this effort where we rip out the code that now duplicates Ironic standalone operator and CBO and make CBO much lighter, make it use Ironic standalone operator. So essentially, not just for testing, like complete switch for the product.
Yeah, but will you since you have the devenv in your CI and there is some support in the devenv for so will you make use of that, extend that, or is it out of scope?
We have something similar to MetalCube Defense, but it's actually not really similar anymore. I mean, we're based on MetalCube Defense, but the approaches are so dramatically different that most of the work we are putting into like using IRSO in MetalCube Defense or CAPM3 end-to-end tests is not consumed in OpenShift in any way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe if I could try to clarify, maybe Tomo, you were thinking about the Ironic CI. Ironic is using.
Actually, that has the CI component, sure.
I mean, Ironic upstream CI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a half-written patch to add a CI to add RSO functional CI job to Ironic. I really need to just finish it. I think I was blocked by some Ironic image patch, which I think had merged, by the way. So yeah, I really want to run functional tests in Ironic CI because they're much more interesting for Ironic. They catch more stuff. And also because OpenStack testing nodes are really small and we're struggling with running actual MetalCube Defend. We really run at very minimal version. I believe we, I don't know, install one master and that's it or something like that. We cannot really continue running MetalCube Defend there. I would love to run BMO functional jobs and IRSO functional jobs instead. But these are just plans for now. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I think this was quite good discussion. Any other questions related to this? Okay, if not, I think we can skip the on because we will discuss it below related to the release team and the roadmap. The RC releases are being created. There are already pull requests out. I will link later the PR for the PMO one, and I think we had one for the IPAM or have one. I will check that, and I will link it here. Yeah, but the RCs are coming. Okay. Any question, comments related to that other than I should put here the links?
I think we are going to get a new Ironic release in a few weeks. I'm not sure how many. 1, 2, 3, pretty soon. I really hope that Ricardo comes back from his PTO first, so that I make it his headache.
Okay. Yeah.
You mean you will have the Iron Image 32 out or batch releases? You were listing a couple releases.
There will be Ironic 32 in a few weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions related to this? Okay. If not, then I think we can continue with the regular discussion topics. So we discussed this one for question, and then we can continue with this one. This is the IPA base URI modification for the IRSO for IPA downloading.
Yep. So this is Moshuro change. It is now on its third iteration. Is this now fine like this, or
Yeah, I don't have any objections to doing that as an effort to stabilize the job. I do want to have a follow-up discussion on the future of IPA or how we distribute IPA in MetalCube. But for now, it's like stopgate solution. It's definitely appropriate. Just ideally rename the YAML file because it says feature gates and now it's not only feature gates. A bit of a nitpick, but just to prevent this configuration becoming confusing. I'm happy to approve this afterwards. And yes, I don't object to cherry picks really.
okay? And then the follow-up question: I don't really follow how the Ironic Image then actually uses these IRSO customize. So does this get automatically applied to that functional job, or?
I believe so, yes. And also keep in mind that Ironic Image always uses as the main branch currently.
Ah, okay. So it's not even required for that to cherry pick it anywhere. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but I will cherry pick it anyway because especially the 04 for whatever reason seems to fail the most without this. So yeah, okay, then it's clear. I will merge those and based on my quick testing, then the CNCF runner tests, they seem to be really happy after this one. So they are definitely the failures coming from the runner change are network related. So now I have applied this patch to all my 3 runner PRs in IRSO, and out of 9 executions, 8 have now passed, while before this changed, the ratio was the other way around. So if this fixes also the Ironic Image, then does someone have further objections on actually then taking the Oracle runners in use? I guess not. If they work, it should be transparent to users. Okay, thanks.
Yep, I will just write down a note. whenever the recording is going, it's the Google Doc becomes like this super slow for me, but on only some operations. Okay. So this has been accepted. This base URI change. I also discussed this with Moshe, went through the code, so seems to be okay. And then Dimitri would like to expand it to the wider discussion of IP images. If you would like to store them as OCI images, I'm fine with that. We can put those to Quay, or we can put those to Nordics Harbor, or if we would like to allow tar files as before, we already have like pipelines and storage for those in the form of displays. That's also open source. It's basically both of the options I mentioned, that Open Infra Europe uh, servers or services.
Yeah, I care a bit less about the actual place where we put that. I mean, which cloud or which service, more of making a decision on how we treat them from now on. Because the fixes that Tomo and folks are doing are great, but they don't contribute anything for our customers, users, clients, everyone.
Mhm.
Because the same networking problem with accessing Tarbo's OpenDevWork can, of course, happen at various locations. We don't use it in OpenShift, so we don't have this problem, but people probably do. And that's why I have basically two questions. We can start with the first one, which is itself is branched into other two questions. The first question is in which form we keep distributing IP images. And the answers can be right now HTTP download or an OCI artifact. OCI artifacts, for those who don't know, is a standard on storing binary blobs in OCI compatible registries. So not like a container, but same technology just for arbitrary binaries. Ironic can handle this. Now, yeah, if we do OCI, if it starts supporting using OCI registers, we can get rid of IPA downloader, which is a big win in my book.
Just on this support of OCI, as far as I know, it only supports OCI URLs that have a full hash. So you wouldn't be able to do like, well, it wouldn't make advantage of things of features of OCI like name tags or anything, because you would need to have the URL be a full with the basically with the SHA-SUM of the binary directly. So I'm
I
not
got
sure
different information from person who tested this feature. It's Julia from Metal3 Community. She explicitly claimed me that tags work with our implementation. So it maybe doesn't work with registries. For example, I know that the OpenShift's built-in registry doesn't work with them. I mean, maybe it does, but not together with our implementation. But it should work. And if it does not, we can definitely discuss if we are doing something wrong in Ironic or they're doing something wrong in the registry you're trying with. It was supposed to work at least.
Yeah, the thing is, I just read the basically I just read the part of the code in Ironic that was doing the fetch for the kernel to see if it would be suitable, and it looked like it was only able to fetch from a direct SHA, and only being able to use tags for deployment images, not for the IPA one, basically.
Okay, interesting. That's not the information I got, but I could have gotten complete information. Anyway, we can fix that. I don't see why we won't be able to fix that.
So if I understood, I might misunderstood first. So the issue was that you suspect it only supports hashes but not attacks, right?
Yes, actually, it's something that is in the documentation as well, I think, in the ironic documentation.
Yeah, if you point me at that, I'll check with Julia what she meant.
So, in this page, I'll put it in the doc directly,
Okay.
in the Google Doc. So, yeah, in that page, oh, it didn't, okay. You, in the available URL format header, there is a warning: the use of tag values to access an artifact for deploy kernel or deploy RAM disk is not possible. This is an intentional limitation. So,
Oh, I see. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Sorry. I'll figure out why is that case.
yeah.
See if we can fix that.
Hmm. Okay. Any comments so far? This was the first topic of what format should we use for distributing. But then going back to that before the comments, from my side, my comment is that I think eventually both, because there are different use cases, different like users. I would be a big fan of eventually getting rid of the turbos and just using the OCI. That would help everyone. I guess for a long time, a lot of people will use turbos.
Right, which I guess
One,
bring. Oh, sorry.
one further question also. Does all versions of Ironic support this, or just some few latest?
It's probably a few latest. I don't remember how many. It's not like yesterday. It has been there for a bit, but maybe not like 26 or something. Yeah, that's a good point. And probably a good point is that we need to keep an eye on the OCI implementation, but at least for now, it's we have to deal with starballs, so we need to decide where we take the starballs. Like, do we switch over to our cache entirely, or do we use our cache only for testing because of some limitations? That's a question I'm really curious about. Is there anything blocking us from just using our cache for all consumers?
We were actually discussing this with Moshour, and I actually objected it, but I can be talked out of it. But I think if we just switch over the whole downloader to use the Nordics, then we just switch the place which becomes critical. So in that sense, I feel better having people use the actual upstream instead of our cache. But yeah.
The problem is that with the workarounds we're putting in place, we are now not testing the things that our consumers are using. So, for example, if cache becomes outdated at some point, we're going to have a situation where everyone is deploying something that we don't run in the CI.
Yeah, but I think the way the Nordics cache is made, it is pulled through, so it should notice if the upstream stream changes. because it's not manually copied there, but it's like a remote, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
Much like pull through container registries or caches.
Okay. From my side, what I was showing if we build it ourselves. Okay, but you are talking about just the cache, like the cache that is proxying the upstream. We have that too. I can show it to everyone. That too.
Yeah, because if you take a look at the change, the URL kind of points to it being just a pull through.
Yeah. I was just focusing on Dimitri's question where to put these. Not even this. Which one was the URL? Seeing that. Oh, it was this one. Oh, the remote cache. So little. Yeah. This also seems. I remember there were more things here. Anyhow. This is not just caching the master. So to synchronize the two stuff, so if we would fully switch over and we would build it, then we can host that one. But giving everyone this pull-through cache, I am not sure actually how good of an idea this is, because then what Dimitri you mentioned is technically not true, because we are testing the upstream here, just pulling through our own cache. But this is supposed to automatically get updated when you pull. So it's just a proxy.
I see.
Yeah, but we need to actually verify that, because I don't really like the timestamp that it's from May. There surely is newer build available, right?
Yeah, there should be. And I actually had a discussion related to this with the folks who made this proxy. And they said that this would update, and I can also dig up with what logic. I also asked what is the update logic of Artifactory, the built-in for these proxies. I can send that to you on Slack. I mean, to everyone who's interested in this in the bare metal chat, because this is supposed to be up to date.
Yeah, why do we actually have two of these remotes? We have OpenStack remote with the same file, and then we have remote cache with the same file.
I have no idea. Originally, when I checked that, it's just one.
Is that the? Can you click the other master tarball?
Which one? This one or
higher?
This one?
That one. Okay, this is actually from the same date, and that's been downloaded today. How about the other one? This is also downloaded today. What the hell?
But I also remember that there were a bunch of it. Like it had the ones cached in all the directory structure of the whole OpenStack remote, and now it's just Ironic Python agent. It looked different the last time I checked this before vacation.
Yeah, okay, but we need to verify how this works, because if these are actually from May, then this is not working as we expect.
Yeah. But if I go here, oh, I had everything. bookmark. It's supposed to. And you were looking into dib. I think this one is the one we are proxying. Remote cache fighter engine dib. Yes, and in dib.
It's from builder. You need to drop the builder from the URL. We have two similar repositories.
But, oh, you mean
Yeah,
this one.
q-builder from the URL.
But I get what you're saying, but what I'm thinking is that we do cache that one, what I have opened, because it says Ionic Python agent and then dib.
Yeah, but where's
No,
builder?
no. Yeah, you have the wrong one. You have the builder in the URL, so it's not.
Oh,
the agent
okay.
part.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You mean this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And here, I guess this is the CentOS.
No, it says CentOS 9 master. So
CentOS 9
scroll down.
master. Yeah, this one. Okay.
Yeah, it's from yesterday, so it is not
Yeah.
working as we expect. We are using old
Yeah, and
IPA now, where we point to cache.
the checksum doesn't match. I pasted the checksum from the file right below. That seems to be different from what you just showed as a UI.
I will download that. So then say this one. Yeah, because it might. I wonder if no, I should. Was this pulled or generated? This is the R.
Let's probably take the debugging of the meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
People probably bored with us.
Okay.
I'm also interested about the future of multi-arch because the current multi-arch design implies that we run IPA downloaded twice with two different IPA, whatever this variable base URI is. And currently we update the code to provide one IPA base URI to IRSO. That is not compatible. So that's another thing that makes me think it's not a long-term solution for us because we really want to make IRSO non-Intel compatible, and currently it's Intel by default. And you need to invent your own downloader if you want to use IRSO with ARM at all or multi-arch deployment.
The issue being that currently upstream Turbal OpenStack doesn't provide like CentOS 9 for both architecture, and they are not distributed at the same endpoints as well. So
yeah, we have only an experimental image in the builder, by the way, where we were looking recently. If I don't forget, I bring it to the Ironic community as well. Like we probably should start building ARM images at this point.
But if someone would be building ARM images, I didn't understand what's the limitation in the IRSO. So is it that we cannot specify it on like Ironic based on Ironic deployments or Ironic pod level, so that if we set a base URL in the environment variable of the manager, controller manager, then that would be used for all the Ironics. Is that the problem?
First, yes, we are going to provide API-based URI, which is going to be Intel only. That's the patch that Tom was talking about
Yes. Okay.
a few minutes ago. And generally, Ironic standalone operator currently by default runs IPA downloader once with the default setting, which is Intel image, regardless of anything. We want it to become multi-arch. By design, that Nicholas and folks provided, we need to run APA downloader twice, once to get Intel images with a prefix and the other one to get ARM images. And I hope they don't conflict about the default name, but we're gonna figure it out. Anyway, so there will be two APA downloaders, which are going to get different base URIs, again, based on the current situation. That needs fixing. And maybe the fix is that Ironic starts distributing ARM images and API downloader becomes smart and we get rid of all these workarounds. But that's not the case.
If we use the OCI, does that solve the issue for us?
Potentially, OCI artifacts can have architecture attached, so you can have the same artifact with the same manifest that has two artifacts for two architectures. Whether Ironic is smart enough to figure that out, I'm not 100% sure. But at least we are not going to have the IPA downloader problem because we are not going to have IPA download in this scenario.
Because it sounds like that should be like the future-proof way, given that the Ironic is smart enough. Right? It kind of solves it solves the tarball issue and it also solves the architecture issue. Sounds like a good choice.
But then there would be also the question of whether we, as Metal3 should cache or transfer the IPA images to an OCI registry, or if it would be done by Ironic upstream, because they could also decide to also publish as OCI containers, or we could do this on our side. It's also something that could be discussed.
My guess is it's on us. The Ironic community has been pretty cold towards the idea of publishing any containers or container images or artifacts so far. So I'd probably expect it to be a periodic job somewhere now in Jenkins that does that. Maybe in something smarter, but that could be a start.
Okay. Okay. Multi-arch.
And then the other question I would have regarding OCI with Ironic using OCI URLs is regarding caching Ironic side. We don't want, it would not be optimal to have Ironic download the OCI images every time. So I guess there's some cache here. So this wouldn't be any different from what is done actually, or would it be different in the way it works? That's something I don't know how it's handled on the Ironic side.
Generally, Ironic caches images. I cannot promise you that caching is implemented for the OCI backend specifically. I do really need to check that because apparently you know more about this than I do. That's a fair question. I'd expect Ironic to cache images, although keep in mind it's plays a bit interestingly with the topic of using tags versus hashes. Because if you have an image with a hash, it's safe to cache it forever because you know it's not going to change. If you provide a tag, then how long do we cache it? Like, do we actually pull it every time and see if checksum still matches?
Yeah, that's something that has to be kind of solved. The thing is, if you do a direct hash, then you cannot do the multi-arch because you will directly point to a specific artifact, not to some kind of manifest that will be then pointing to the different artifacts.
It's all saying me that we need a high bandwidth meeting to probably hash out this whole design.
Do we really? Because if someone is concerned about caching, why cannot they set up their own pull-through registry cache? Like, why is it our issue if someone wants to cache something? There's plenty of registries for that.
No, I mean, I think the issue here is not like in general the caching, but Ironic's internal storage, because it caches already everything. It's just that if OCIs are introduced, then it's like if you have a latest tag, when do you pull? Do you always check the hash or not? Because right now the logic is that if you don't have, you pull it. I think with node images and the existing IPA, it's like
And it
that.
uses something like if modified since from the HTTP server. So it's gonna do a head request and see if the image is up to date. So maybe we could do that with OCI. I'm not advocating one solution or the other. I'm just saying we have so many open questions in this topic. And we probably should start throwing together some sort of a design document. Maybe build another working group and start talking about this asynchronously, the document, and maybe eventually meet on our the next team meetup, which should happen, I guess, this year still.
Yeah,
And have this as one of the topics.
yeah, we can have this as a topic for team meetup. Let me write it down.
And sorry, I need to go as well. It's just like a few people, so yeah, it was great talking to you. I'm glad we discussed all this.
Sure. Thanks for joining. This is even also more complicated here because we actually don't really test this internal caching of Ironic because how most of our tests work, at least in the dev, it works like that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it were same way in PMO E2E and also the CAPM3 E2E. I checked those long time ago, but we actually pre-place the node images and the IPA. IPA in most cases comes through the downloader, so we don't cache, like it's in the same location, but we don't really leave that for Ironic image. But in our tests, we basically never rely on the Ironic internal caching because some other ways we get the images there. So it's not even really something we test in the Metal3. So it really needs its own working group. There are a lot of details. Yeah, I will make a working group and I will add this to the big meetup list. I'll highlight this one.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay, then there is a heads up for the RPC port change. Okay, this I think is self-explanatory. These are just heads up. Is this the one I think it is or a different? No, it's just a related PR. Okay, so please review this if you have time. then we don't have any more discussion topics, but I don't think actually we discussed this thoroughly. This will need more discussion. We could go to the triaging. If you don't have time, please feel free to drop. I will go through, and for the sake of the recording, I will do the triage. So no worries if you have to leave. Okay, then there are some minor issues. I see there are some. I've read this. It's a contradiction. I think that's fine. We can at least clear this up. This is accepted, and this is question documentation. It's correctly in the docs. Okay, good. Okay, building and pushing CentOS images and this general CI stuff. I think we can go through those quickly. CI. Same.
Quick question.
Yep.
What is a node image?
Node image is the mostly Linux distro image, but any image that we write to the disk, and after reboot, that will be the image of the Kubernetes node. So that
Okay.
will serve as the distro, yeah, under the kubelet.
All right. And why would there be a need to build our own?
It's just for CI, for the testing,
Okay.
because the upstream ones coming from the distro maintainers don't have all of the packages and certain modifications like networking
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah. But the same thing, this node image is named on Ironic side. You probably are more familiar with it as like the user image. I think sometimes it's called user image, and
Yeah.
it has some other name also.
Yeah, I think it's disk image, but I'm not sure.
Disk image. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you call it disk image. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, this is something new. Data never retires to create. Worker nodes within the roots and infrastructure. Rolling updates. Hmm. I haven't seen this one. I have to check the test code. Okay. This one I will check later.
So one thing I want to add here. So this issue is linking another issue,
Oh,
which is this ensure. So this is fixed, and PR is merged for the fix. Maybe we can ask the reporter to try the fix and see if it solves the issue. Then
yeah, sounds good. I will go ahead. It was this. Yeah. Okay. Then I will triage it as needs. Hmm. Did I use the correct tag? Yes. Thanks, Adil. Okay. Have you been in contact with this issue creator, or were you working on this completely separately? Just
completely
some
separately.
Okay. Good. That's cool. I will go back and check this. Okay. Pre-approved work doesn't contain jobs. It's I need to okay the test, yes, to run the test, yes. Just to run. Okay. I think this makes sense. Yes. I think I asked. Oh, this is new. That was the better part. Shows I doesn't have the power. Yeah. Let's see the DHCP server issue or and then this is through the BMO and okay. Let's answer this later. It's supposed to work. Enabling the multi-arts deployments. Yeah, sure. This will also relate to the new working group and everything. Okay, so I'm going to have to data template. Okay. I thought that we haven't even implemented failure domains yet. I just remember discussing it could have been an issue. No, where is this? I remember discussing this with someone, and we agreed to take over. And I really do think that was Japan too. Okay, this. Okay, I will check this also later. I remember that we have this still ongoing, this whole failure domain discussion. Okay. It soup with metadata test. Yeah, this is I already seen. Yeah, that user data one. This is a CI. Okay. Yes. Cool. Flake. Yes, this is a legit flake. And this is like this flake. And then the force persistent boot device can only be configured. And I think this is being discussed. Yeah, there is no order flow interface in the PMO separately. Okay, so I think this has been answered. We'll leave it like this. They would like to discuss further, but seems to be resolved. Okay, so let's do a refresh here yet again. And we have only a few left. We're to install bootloader. All this is related to the guide. So I just related to the starting guide. I think we can leave that one. What's the recommendation? The options. Yeah, okay. I can accept this one. Because this is an issue with docs. And then we have removed quite a few, but there are still a few remaining. 3 or 4 that are not exactly clear to me. Okay, I think it's in better shape, and I can tomorrow go through this in more detail by myself. I think most of the folks have already left from the meeting. So if there are no further questions, I think that was all for today. We are anyway over time by almost 15 minutes. So thanks for joining. Let's
Yep.
meet.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Bye.
Yeah, bye bye. Let's meet next week, same time. And I will stop the recording.